If you're on the hunt for an all-mountain e-MTB and everything's looking just a little too pricey, then you're in the right place. We've rounded up the best options between $4,000 and $7,000, ranked from cheapest to most expensive. So stick around to find out your perfect ride that won't break the bank. Kicking things off at the most wallet-friendly price point, we have the Haibike ALLMTN 4, an alloy-framed mullet setup priced at just over $4,000. This is possibly the most affordable route to the new 5th generation Bosch CX motor. It really does represent crazy value for money when compared to the rest of the market. RockShox suspension providing 160 up front and 150 at the rear. It will be a competent all-rounder and an excellent entry into full suspension e-MTBs. The downside, well, the spec is understandably entry-level all-round, and you'll be lucky to keep the WTB wheelset running true, especially considering the weight will likely be pushing the upper end of the acceptable limit. That being said, it's affordable, powerful, and extremely capable. It's refreshing to see. Next up, the Marin Alpine Trail E1, an alloy-framed mixed wheel setup and the first bike on the list with a coil shock at the rear. Although beware heavier riders, as the spring weights are at the lighter end of the spectrum. It runs on Shimano's EP6 motor, providing 85 Nm of torque and a 630 Wh battery. Shimano's of the past suffered from poor reliability, especially around water ingress, but I think improvements have been made in recent years, so I wouldn't be too concerned with this system. Shimano kit continues throughout the bike, plus an X-Fusion fork up front. These forks are better than you might expect, so don't be too put off. With Cushcore inserts from factory, you can tell Marin was meaning business with this bike, or they think their own brand rims are made of cheese. I'll let you be the judge. Moving up the list, we've got the Cube Stereo Hybrid 177 HPC SLX 800, the first carbon-framed e-MTB on the list with a properly interesting frame design. You get the latest Bosch CX motor and an 800 Wh battery. The 177 is a properly impressive bit of kit for the money, making it a solid pick for riders looking to push their limits without the need to upgrade anything really. And honestly, the first bike on this list that could take proper abuse. It is nearly 25 kilos though, so still at the upper end of what I'd be comfortable with. Jumping over the $5,000 barrier, the only lightweight e-bike on the list, the Neuron ONfly. It's a masterpiece in bike design. Its sleek carbon down tube housing a 400 Wh battery above a Bosch SX motor packing 55 Nm of torque. If trail center loops or all-day big mountain explorations are your thing, and you still want that feeling of achievement at the end of a long day, this really is the perfect bike for you. It would have been nice to see a 36mm diameter fork up front, but the 34 will be more than capable for most riders. The YT Decoy Core 2 is a fantastic option for those looking for a bike with proper freeride geometry. The frame features a carbon front triangle with an alloy rear end and runs the Shimano EP801 motor with a 720 Wh battery, a mixed wheel size with 170mm Marzocchi forks, 165 out back. YT has properly dialed the geometry to make this a serious weapon on almost any trail. The downside, once again, the weight at just shy of 25 kilos. Now we're stepping into a category shared by none. The Amflow PL Carbon, weighing in at just over 20 kilos, this bike features a full carbon frame, DJI's own Avinox motor with a whopping 120 Nm of torque and an 800 Wh battery. If you want cutting edge tech and a lightweight, powerful e-MTB, the Amflow is the way to go. Conservative geo numbers and suspension travel at 150-160 will suit the majority of riders, but let's be honest, you're probably considering this bike for the motor system alone. And if power is your priority, then look no further. Other than the questionable name, there's little to fault this bike. At just over 20 kilos, we have a lightweight package, but with a full powered motor. Neatly housing a Shimano EP801 with a removable 600 Wh battery, I really like the concept of this bike from Propain. The frame design is properly unique with an anti-squat rear linkage, 150-160 suspension travel from a base spec Lyric fork, and deluxe R rear shock aren't much to write home about, but you have a very special platform to build upon when funds allow. If I had to choose a pick of the bunch in terms of value for money, I think I would go for the Cube Stereo with the really long name. Combining the trusted Bosch system with a carbon frame and capable build for under $4,500, it's a winner from my perspective. Which one would you pick? Let us know in the comments, and if you found this video helpful but still aren't sure what motor system to go for, then check out my DJI versus Bosch video just over here.